wonder if she knew she already had me? What? I'm so confused. Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Richard with Everlasting Gaming, and welcome back to Her Lie I Tried to Believe. Cassandra's confession completely threw us for a loop at the end of our last episode. She admitted that she loved us this entire time, and that she wanted us to treat her the way we've been treating her, which is absolutely insane. We've been a complete asshole to her this entire time. I was shocked. I'm sure you were shocked. That's why you're here. We need to find out why. Let's just keep on going. I don't remember much about that night. Or maybe I just don't want to remember. The only thing I can say for sure is that there was something I found out about myself on that day. That you're a batshit crazy? Something that I probably shouldn't have. That you're batshit crazy? Oh, we're back in the hotel again. Ooh, ominous music. As I was about to leave the hotel, it must have been around 5 a.m. the next morning, Cassandra stopped me casually and said, "I want you to come to see me next week, alright?" She was such an assertive glance, too, like, you better see me. My reply to that was, "Not a chance, idiot." She flashed me a smile nonetheless. I wonder if she knew. I wonder if she knew she already had me? What? I'm so confused. After that, I met with her on the same day once a week. We would drink together in the bar that she's working at. We'd always finish the night at the same hotel right after. It must have been on the third week that I finally decided to ask about it. Are we just two crazy halves of a crazy whole? She was speaking to me at great length like always, just after having sex. I was sitting on the corner of the bed listening to her half-heartedly while sucking on a cigarette. Yeah, I was a smoker by then. Took the habits out of nowhere. Probably to look even more pathetic than I already was. She's wearing less and less clothes with each episode we continue on with. We should go see it together. They say it's the movie of the decade. Shut up, I said to her brusquely in reply, yet, I wonder if you'd pay for my entry fee. I bet you... What's that face? I bet you would. You're that type of man after all. Giggle. She was laughing and smiling like always. I first thought she would stop acting this way the moment she finally showed me her true self, but she betrayed my expectation. She's exactly the same, whether we're alone or not. The only time when she behaves differently is when we're having sex. She would fixate me, always in the eyes, with frightening passion. Normally I'm the only one who's cold and violent, but when we're having sex, she could very well be seen as disturbed as I am. Oh my god, this game is so crazy. I wonder then why was she always smiling? Was it fake, or was it not? Even I, who knew better than anyone else, have no clue. How can someone as empty as her smile as so thoroughly like this? I badly wanted to know, but why? Why was I even involving myself with the likes of her? It's not like my feeling had changed all of a sudden. I still very much hated the thing she is. I didn't understand myself anymore. Still, I needed to know. Man, this episode is going with like a crazy start. So without thinking much, I asked her something for the first time since almost forever. I asked her something I wish I hadn't. Why did you end up this way? Oh, you pissed her off. She was surprised. Obviously, I disturbed her while she was speaking, but her surprise didn't come from that fact. Oh, there's that smile again. She looked at me and smiled at me silently for a time, but not with that smile. A smile as though she had won something. A smile as though there was hope somewhere, somehow. She was just genuinely happy, I think. Or maybe there was something with that smile that I didn't understand back then. All I knew was that she was waiting for that question. So she told me her tale. Some stereotypical bullshit I didn't want to hear. You want to hear it? Her father had a lot of money when she was younger. He was some kind of successful businessman, or investor, or whatever. I didn't listen all that well, to be honest. But he had enough money to get by, was the term she used, whatever that meant. And in 5th grade, out of nowhere, Cassandra started showing interest in her studies. So much that she was at the top of her class every following year. Seeing her growing up to become an outstanding woman, her father decided to invest in her by paying for her later education. Some kind of prestigious university, or something like that. Didn't even know you could pay for such a thing so early in the game. Anyway, now for the plot twist. Her father pretty much lost everything by trying to invest in some real estate market bullshit. Wrong time, wrong place. That's what they always say anyway. So sure enough, now that he was poor as shit, he started thinking about the investment he made on his daughter. The problem is, such an investment takes a really long time to pay off. That and the fact that it's your fucking daughter, you piece of shit. She deserves at least that much. But anyway, he kind of started mistreating her by blaming her sorry ass on her failure to graduate sooner. By that time, the fucker got his feet even more dirty by gambling away the little he had to subsist. So in the end, drumroll. She was forced to quit school and starting working. Sorry, the grammar in this is kind of strange. At least the good man who was her father owed her some money, and was kind enough to show her a high-paying job she literally couldn't refuse. And that's pretty much it. Now for a test of my fucking conscience. If I hadn't started forcing my ideal of rivalry upon her, would she have ended up like this? Or better again, even if she did, could I have done something for her? I mean, in high school? I had kind of noticed something was strange, but did nothing nonetheless. Yeah, I hated her for no reason. So is it my fault? Maybe, and so what? It didn't affect me in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Yet, I still wish I hadn't asked her this. One of the last things he was always saying to me before he died was, "You're the golden egg that never ached," the definition of useless. I got up from the bed. I need to go now. I said, though I didn't really need to. That fast? But I want to be with you. And you paid for the whole night. And... She was sulking, puffing her cheeks like a child. Even if I weren't an asshole, I probably would have found her behavior cute. My only thought to that was, "You're disgusting." I took my keys on the coffee table and left, her words still hanging. "You'll come back next Thursday, right?" Jeez, slam the door. Closing the door behind me, I stayed for a time there unmoved. My hands were clenching tightly in the form of a fist. I was frustrated for some reason. If I had stayed for a minute longer, those fists would have probably been thrown at her. Fuck! I had a hard time understanding myself. If it hurts me so much staying around her, why am I always coming back to this place? Am I yearning for this? This pitiful excuse of a relationship? I had a vague idea for the reason behind my illogical behavior, but I didn't want to think it true. Because this would mean my whole life was even more of a joke than I first thought it was. Chapter 5. The Inevitable Disruption. These chapters are getting shorter. The 7 week marked a change in the stupid routine of ours. 7 weeks of doing that. That means he was doing it for about 2 months. By then we were already no longer meeting at our working place. Instead, we would simply meet directly at our hotel room, which means we could see each other at a more appropriate time than in the middle of the week. And I would no longer have to pay for her fee as well. And this I found very shady indeed. She's falling for you, man. Because the reason we only saw each other on Thursday was because she worked on that particular day. But that doesn't make any sense, does it? How is she able to subsist for herself if she only works once a week? Oh, she's lying to you about something. Sure, she may have another job somewhere, or more like she definitely must have. But every time I ask her, she simply denies it, and I won't go out of my way to get the answer out of her. I don't care enough for that to happen, but it's still nagging me somehow. Okay, I entered our room nonchalantly like I always did, and she was waiting for me on the couch in the far back of the room while looking at her phone, like she always did. I love how we're back at the same hotel, by the way. Oh, you brought us fruit. You're so diligent. I hope you didn't forget a fork this time around. She throws herself at the bags I was carrying with full of energy. Grammar in this is interesting. Like always. Hey, this is my lunch, you idiot. You say this, yet there's 2 bags. You're not so honest with yourself. Man, she's such a kid. Your fork is in the... Uh-oh. It got quiet. Wait a minute. Huh? Where is it? Uh-oh. She doesn't look my way. She's too engrossed in searching the content of the bag frantically, with question marks hovering on the top of her head. Or at least that's what she's trying to make me think. Is it just me, or does it look like she has a black eye? I drop in keys and jacket on the floor right there and then. I took her right arm forcefully enough for her expression to contort in pain. In my right hand, I pushed her chin upward to see the features of her face. What is it? We're not even in bed yet. You're so naughty today. She says teasingly. Shut up. She stopped speaking instantly by my powerful words. I softly brushed around her left eye with my thumb. Her eye closed instinctively by my touch. Even if she applied makeup to hide it, it's still very much visible. I don't remember having done this to you. Who did this? She does have a black eye. Uh-oh. It's nothing, really. It doesn't hurt, see? She pushes two of her fingers against the corner of her left black eye. And though her words say defiantly, she still looks in pain the moment she applies pressure on her skin. Answer me. She simply looks down, almost ashamed of herself. Instinctively, I try to put my hand on her waist to comfort her somehow, but the moment my hands touch her body, I see her slightly grimace. Oh no. Somebody's abusing her, maybe. I take her shirt and lift it up without minding destroying the damn thing. And sure enough, there are dark marks all over her waist and belly. What? Oh, man. Marks that only a man could have done. Answer me, goddammit. Who did this to you? Well? She thinks carefully about her next words. You know, sometimes clients can get out of hand. And which one? I don't know him. It was the first time I saw him, and I don't remember his face. My grip on her only tightens up the more words she adds. Isn't it your employer's job to make sure those things don't happen in the first place? Even if that's the case, it doesn't change the fact that I have a black eye, right? Please, let's just not talk about this, alright? I want to enjoy myself. I've been literally waiting for today all week. I didn't answer her, nor did I look her way. I was lost in thought. I don't understand why I was so frustrated. It was uncontrollable. And I know I shouldn't act illogically, but that doesn't mean you know something that you automatically apply it to your thought process. Fuck! Is it because you don't like this? I can try to apply more makeup if you want. I'm sure you won't notice it when we're having sex, so... I should let go of her. If I continue on adding pressure on her arm like that, it will definitely swell up. Yet... Come. What? Are we leaving already? What about the food? You can eat it in the car. Now come. She's not a dog, dude. Jeez. But it will be cold. Where are we going to go anyway? Far from all of this. Really far from all of this. Wow. Toward the unknown. We're going on a road trip. Is he starting to care about her? It was on impulse. It had already been 2 hours since we left the hotel. Interesting looking car. I was driving in the middle of the night, not knowing still where the road was going to lead us. She had stopped talking and asking me questions for a while now, only looking through the window motionlessly. She still hasn't touched her food yet. She was mad. Maybe it was too dark for me to really see her expression from the angle of her face. Still, I was curious about her thoughts right now. She, who never showed her true color, what lies underneath her carefree and good-natured demeanor? Maybe something like me. But her silence was too good to be true. Soon her mouth started moving again. You're really doing this, aren't you? Do you even know the impact of this choice you're about to make? I don't care. And why are you doing this, if you don't care? I'm doing this because I can't stand seeing you like this anymore. That's why. Don't you understand that this life of yours is not worth living? If this continues on like this, they're going to... To what? Kill me? Break me? Why should you care? Shouldn't you be rejoicing? After all, you hate me. Shut up. But it's the truth, isn't it? Shut up. I shouted at her. I didn't want to have this conversation. I didn't even notice that the answer myself. All I know is that I need to get as far away as possible, as soon as possible. In my own crazy way, I think Tim is actually starting to care about her. Is it because you feel responsible? Is that it? Then I'm going to clear things out once and for all. This has nothing to do with you. It never had. This has always been my father's fault to begin with. This is not your responsibility. You understand? I'll be the one judging on that. They are the Mafia, Tim, and I owe them a lot of money. If I disappear like this, they're going to pursue me and find me. And if at that time you're there with me, they're going to let you off. They're not going to let you off easily. They're going to... Oh, she's scared that I'm going to die. She stops talking from the corner of my eye. I can see her tears rolling down her cheek uncontrollably, as if she thought my death alone was enough to make her cry. What of it? I can sense her powerful gaze on me, the moment those words leave my mouth. Anger, something I've never seen throughout her features, no matter how I treated her, and now I've been triggered by those simple and trivial words. Don't you understand how dangerous this is? They're going to kill you. You have a girlfriend, don't you? And a job you worked hard to obtain? If you persist on trying to save me like this, you're going to throw away everything you've been trying to build your whole life. You can't sacrifice all of this for something as stupid as... Uh-oh. My foot slammed the brake pedal with all its might. The scream of his tires stretched out for a long 5 seconds until the car finally stopped. Completely. I then leaned on her, unlocking her door and opened it one single motion. If you don't like this, then get out. We're so close to a bus station. We can probably manage to return to the city before morning. I have made my decision. I don't plan for you to understand it. Responsibility? Toward whom? You? Don't make me laugh. Sorry, choking on my shock here. I'm doing this for myself, alright? She muttered one single word. Liar. How stupid can you be? I ain't fucking lying, you dumb bitch. A girlfriend, a job, a life? I have no interest for those fucking things. I almost feel completely empty. All this fucking painful life of mine has always been one recurring joke. Should have the word fuck in this game. No, I've been waiting for this kind of opportunity all my life. It just so happens that it is tonight. Now, or you follow me and become my partner in crime. Excuse me. Or you get the fuck out and return to hell you proudly call your life. Any of you watching, every time he says hell, or fuck, just take a shot or drink a soda or do whatever, because he says it way too much, my god. She looks at me in the eyes. Same way she always does when we're having sex. It always goes back to sex. She has no smile. She has no expression. She has no happiness. The purity with which she's always been looking at the world around her is nowhere to be found, as if it's always been a fleeting illusion. This is the real her. She doesn't shift her cold gaze from me while closing her door slowly. I've waited for this my whole life, and there's no way I'm gonna let it get away from me like this. Let's go. Those are her words. Powerful, without any hesitation. I don't say anything back. I'm not able to. Her determination seems dangerous somehow, so I just unconsciously start driving again, so this whole conversation never took place. I break eye contact with her to focus on the road. Is this maybe what they call eloping? It's exciting! All of a sudden she's happy again. The moment my eyes fell back on her, she has the most beautiful smile I've ever seen in the world. And then silence. Chapter 7. Eloping isn't the word. Uh-oh. Driving for half a day. That's a long drive. After driving for half a day, we finally stopped in a cheap motel to rest and regain some of our energy. At the same time, I took this opportunity to collect my thoughts. While this situation might have started as a brainless and impulsive act, keeping up with this attitude will only bring us down in the long run. In the end, we might need a good plan if we want a good shot at this. I first thought we had a good amount of time ahead of us, but this assumption was a big mistake of mine. I was asking for a bit more details. I found out that Cassandra was living with another hostess from that bar. She even thought she was only... So even though she's only working once a week, the other girl will soon find out about her disappearance. I could have asked her to try and contact that girl, maybe convince her not to say a word to their boss, but this would have been too big of a risk for only postponing the inevitable as a result. It explains how she had money after only working once a week, the mafia. Ultimately, I think trusting someone will only trigger the start of our downfall. I look at her. She's carelessly sleeping beside me while I'm the one stressing out about all those things. She doesn't seem to care all that much since she showed me that determination of hers. You guys, we've come so far from having snowball fights in the friggin' playground in grade school. My god. Seriously, what am I doing? Going out of my way for what? This? Sleeping in this cheap-ass bed? Eating this disgusting convenience store food? This is all her. No, what am I thinking? No matter how I look at this, I chose to do all of this of my own volition, right? I shouldn't hold it against her. Still, I know there's a darkness in my heart that I've yet to get rid of. A darkness which is whispering to me to destroy her. So, did you choose where we're going, my love? Uh-oh. That's a first. She says shamelessly the moment we enter the car. Stop that. It's disturbing. But we're eloping. I can at least call you that much, right? No, we're not eloping. That would mean we're about to wed, and we're clearly not. But I want to wed. I love you, and we're going to live together from now on. So, she puts her head on my shoulder while smiling brightly. So what? There's no logic behind your words. Get off of me. I shake her off without any consideration for her feelings, or even her well-being. Boo, you're no fun. She sticks out her tongue like a little kid, before turning her attention toward the window, sulking. Man, she's a handful. I've decided our destination. I've thought about it for a long time, and what do you think of Las Vegas? Of course, that's where everybody goes on a road trip. She instantly looks back at me, sparkles in her eyes. So does that mean we're really going to get married after all? I always wanted to go to Las Vegas. Back off. I've decided this out of the convenience for us, not for your little fantasy. Well, I know how much she wanted to go there. She talked about it more than once, so I might have taken it into account. But I'm not actually going to say that I am I? But I don't understand. Shouldn't we try to go to some unknown village instead of going to a big city to try and lay low or something? Are we asking to be found if we go there? Not exactly. The best place to hide is a tree is inside a forest, right? Logically, when you think about someone trying to escape from a group like the Mafia, you think that the person is going to hide in some distant place, far away from urban civilization. That's exactly how his pursuers are going to think too. So naturally, they're going to first search those uncivilized areas. You understand where I'm going with this? Yeah, but while it does look all good on paper, it doesn't mean it will go that smoothly. That place is known to be run by criminals, right? So it shouldn't be too far-fetched to think that they have ties with our pursuers. If we're going to a small place, village or whatever, we're going to attract a lot of unwanted attention. They'll all know each other in those places, you know, and look at us. Not what we would call countryside people, are we? If you say so. She doesn't seem to buy it. Is she scared? She shouldn't be. One more thing. You need her to understand this perfectly, else none of this is worth it. Even if they found us, does it change anything, does it? In the end, both our lives have never been worth living. I won't live my days in such a boring place as a village, or crawling in fear inside a hole somewhere. My life has been nothing but boredom already. So, she looked at me, clueless. Let's try and have some fun, shall we? She regains that smile of hers, so naturally. A beautiful, pure, and bright smile. That smile I would have done anything to destroy before. I was now the source of its existence. I should feel flattered by this. I should. Yet. How disgusting. Alright, we're going to Vegas. We're gonna catch us a show. Vegas. Chapter 8, Las Vegas. Alright. I think this is as good of a place to stop as any. We're on our way to Vegas. We're eloping, quote unquote. This has gotten so crazy. We've gone from infatuation to obsession to borderline sexual assault, and now we've run away from the Mafia. What else can happen? I want to know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think we're making the right decision? Or are we just gone all Lois and Clark and we're just going to end up being caught by the Mafia or the cops or whatever? I want to know what you guys think. Be sure to tell me in the comments below. If you guys like new and exciting gaming videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you get notified every time I post videos. I post every day. Alright you guys, hey, it's been fun. It's always fun. We always have a blast. I'm Richard with Everlasting Gaming, and as always, have a good night.